The word acceptance is used a lot in AA. It's used a lot everywhere, but I think that there's this whole acceptance is the key to all my problems. There's the serenity prayer, which is grant me the serenity uh, to accept the things we cannot change. Courage changes things can, and wisdom to know the difference. Uh, so acceptance has been around for a long time for me, and it's always had this negative connotation. Um, Obviously, that's coming from me. That's my perception. I've always looked at it as a have to. I have to accept things. And then over the years, it's developed into this idea that acceptance, um, in order to be happy, I've got to just, I don't know if this is coming out right. Uh, just coming to terms with things. And I don't think that's correct. Um, I don't think that's correct at all. Um, this this idea of acceptance is is it's evolved in the sense that, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to remember now. That it's evolved. Okay, I remember now. It's evolved into this thing that it's like, well, reality doesn't depend on my acceptance. Um, Reality or truth or whatever you want to call it is already, and so my acceptance of it or not doesn't change reality or truth. Um, so 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 acceptance is irrelevant to what is, but it is relevant to my experience of it. And that's still that. I think that's where the negative connotation comes from. So just I joke. It's got this this trying to keep it trying to keep the language proper here. Um, you know, it's got this just take it kind of attitude. Just deal with it. It is what it is. And if you don't want to accept it, too bad. That's just what it is. And then that's just that's not a good place to come from. So there's this whole idea going back and forth. I speak with a friend of mine in North Carolina, and we talk about the have to, and the have to, that's just compliance, and then you want to get to the point where, okay, I want to, I want to be a part of what really is. I want to be a part of truth, reality, the good, whatever you want to call it. But there's this better attitude, perception, and it's get to. So being a part of the get to shows gratitude. Um, it shows not just acceptance of what's going on, but the word that I've been talking about recently with some friends of mine we do a Course in Miracles thing. So it's a spirituality metaphysics based thing, and it's it talks about like embracing, which is the get to. So like acceptance, the word came out to be. I said embracement, almost like a noun or a verb. And my friend said that's not even a word. We looked it up. It's some kind of a word. But in this context, embracement. So it would be almost like the serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity. Wait, yeah, God grant me the serenity to embrace. And what that really means is really being present, really being in the now, and embracing where I'm at, because that's where I'm supposed to be. Um, and when I realize that, then I can look for whatever function I have, whatever. Think of it as a better way as I'm a better teacher. I'm a better learner. There's all these things that are little mantras and focuses. Uh, so one of them is to have all, give all to all, and to me that speaks to embracement. And to know peace, teach it, and therefore learn it. So this makes me a better learner. So enlightenment and spirituality and acceptance, embracing, get to, all these things make it so that I'm comfortable and peaceful, and that I don't want for anything to be different. I want things to be the way they are, because that is what I think is part of the plan. I think that's where we all connect as a singularity, as a wholeness. I think that's where the Christian-based language of the Holy Spirit is the wholeness. So when I'm tuned into and embracing that, that peace, that God, that is what is whole, and I'm being a part of that. I'm being present. When I do that, then things can work out the way they're supposed to. Then whatever is I don't want maybe channeled is the word, but I don't know if that's the right word, but whatever is going on, whatever message needs to be communicated through the oneness, can be communicated, especially to those who can't hear that in themselves. They can't connect with that. They're struggling, which is like I was talking about before with acceptance. There's a struggle with acceptance, and I can't hear why things are the way they are, what's going on, or why this is happening, and it seems like a terrible thing. And what's all the craziness in my head? One of my favorite guys to listen to right now is the Muji, right? Muji Baba, whatever, I don't know. And I think he talks about this a lot. And in this Course in Miracles thing, that there's a lot of talk about that as well. That those that do hear the voice for God, this singularity, those who can't hear it need those who can to recognize that voice, that part in them that is there, that they can't seem to hear. We help them hear it, and whether it's by saying anything, it doesn't necessitate me saying anything, or any teacher saying anything. It necessitates me seeing it in them, so that they can see it in themselves and hear for themselves. So that's where embracement comes in. So it's embracing what we have to share with each other.